I know you've made an effort, tried to follow the path that seemed right, but the more you looked around, the more you realized that it did not reflect the true essence of your faith. Churches, which should be places of welcome and transformation, began to sound like distant echoes, filled with empty speeches and silent judgments. Deciding that these places are not for you is not a sign of spiritual weakness but rather of unshakable strength and a deep desire to find an authentic relationship with the divine. This step, which many see as rebellion, is actually an act of courage. The courage to seek the truth, to free yourself from suffocating expectations, and finally walk a path that is yours, where the connection with God does not depend on structures or traditions but on the purity of your own soul. Churches have always been seen as a safe harbor or refuge for those seeking comfort and belonging. They should be spaces where people find love, support, and unconditional acceptance, regardless of their flaws or challenges. The expectation is that, upon crossing the church's threshold, you would be welcomed by warm smiles and open arms. That everyone there would be willing to listen, understand, and extend a hand in solidarity. Unfortunately, for many, especially for the chosen ones, this reality is far from the truth. What should be a sanctuary often becomes a place of judgment and disillusionment. It is painful to realize that what should elevate us spiritually becomes a source of frustration and sadness. The chosen ones, in particular, feel this more intensely. Because they possess a unique sensitivity, they can perceive the nuances in the intentions and energies around them. Instead of finding acceptance, many end up feeling that they do not belong in these spaces. The love and compassion they hope to give and receive seem to be stifled by rigid rules and silent judgments. And this hurts. The feeling of alienation grows, making them question the effectiveness of churches in fulfilling their true purpose. From this point, discernment becomes both a blessing and a curse. The chosen ones possess an extraordinary gift of perceiving beyond appearances, seeing beyond what is said or shown. They can identify the falsehood hidden behind smiles and the superficiality camouflaged in beautiful speeches. But this ability also brings a burden. When they see hypocrisy or a lack of authenticity in an environment that should be sacred, it feels as if a piece of their faith is being torn away. Isolation becomes an almost inevitable choice because, for them, it is better to be alone than surrounded by falsehoods. Many chosen ones have entered churches carrying the hope of finding a true community, only to be confronted with realities that did not meet their expectations. Traditions and rituals, which should bring people closer, often became walls that separate them. The essence of what Christ preached, love, empathy, and compassion, has been diluted in formalities and rules that reflect little of the true message of faith. This realization brings deep sadness, a sense of spiritual betrayal. For the chosen ones, a direct connection with the divine becomes essential because they feel that the essence has been lost in churches. It is easy to understand why so many distance themselves. When the structure of a church becomes more important than the message it should carry, spirituality is stifled. For the chosen ones, this is unacceptable. They yearn for a genuine connection, for a space where they can express their faith without being restricted by human dogmas or expectations. Religion, in its purest form, should liberate, not imprison. But for many, churches have become spiritual prisons, where the freedom to question and grow is seen as rebellion or lack of faith. And this generates immense frustration. Frustrations accumulate with each negative experience. For new members, expectations are high. They hope to find a place of healing and acceptance, but often encounter the opposite. The judgmental looks, the words spoken with contempt, all create an almost insurmountable barrier. What should be a place of welcome becomes a minefield of criticism and exclusion. And it is sad because many enter seeking hope and leave carrying a heavier burden than when they arrived. The disconnect between discourse and practice is evident, and this only deepens the pain of those who genuinely want to connect with something greater. The culture of exclusion within churches is a serious problem that drives away those who most need support. Spiritual elitism creates an atmosphere where few feel welcome. The chosen ones, with their free and questioning spirit, are often seen as misfits or troublemakers. But this rejection only reinforces the need for change. No one should feel inadequate or intimidated when seeking a deeper relationship with God. The church should be a space of healing, not judgment. And for this to happen, all members, especially leaders, need to reflect on their attitudes and behaviors. Many church leaders seem more concerned with maintaining order and traditions than promoting true welcome. They forget that the church's mission is to embrace everyone, regardless of their background or circumstances. They are so attached to norms and conventions that they forget the most important value, unconditional love. For the chosen ones, this is particularly frustrating. They see beyond appearances. They perceive when the motivation is to maintain a facade of perfection instead of truly transforming lives. This mindset ends up undermining the church's mission and driving away those who seek a true encounter with the divine. What churches need to understand is that it is not about fitting into a specific mold, but opening the doors to all who wish to find a space of peace and spiritual connection. The chosen ones, by their questioning nature, cannot accept a system that preaches inclusion but practices exclusion. They want to see authenticity, to feel that each person is valued for who they are, not for what they appear to be. And when this does not happen, frustration and disappointment turn into distance. It is not a lack of faith, but a deep desire to find a place where they can truly be themselves. The need for change within churches is evident, and it must begin with a transformation in the mindset of each member. It is useless to preach love and acceptance if, in practice, people are judged and marginalized. The chosen ones, with their keen sense of justice, perceive this inconsistency and feel compelled to speak out, even if it makes them targets of criticism. They believe that true transformation begins from within and that each person must be an example of compassion and empathy. It is a call for everyone, leaders and followers alike, to look at themselves and question, are we really living what we preach? If churches want to remain relevant in an increasingly complex and diverse world, they need to reinvent themselves. It is not about changing the foundations of faith, but adapting them to a new reality. The chosen ones, being visionaries, see the need for a new paradigm, where the focus is on building a genuine relationship with God rather than being bound by empty formalities. They argue that spirituality should be alive, dynamic, and accessible to all. And this will only be possible when churches decide to prioritize love and compassion over appearances and dogmas. Unfortunately, many churches are still stuck in an outdated vision, where status and image are more important than true spiritual transformation. For the chosen ones, this approach is stifling. They feel that there is no room for growth, for questioning, for truly connecting with the divine in an authentic way. It is as if churches have become museums, where everything is dusty and untouched, lifeless, and stagnant. And for those seeking a living relationship with God, this is unacceptable. Spirituality should be something vibrant, that inspires, that transforms, and that liberates. When churches are more concerned with their finances than with their souls, something is deeply wrong. True generosity, the one that comes from the heart, cannot be forced or manipulated. It flows naturally when people feel loved, valued, and connected. The chosen ones perceive this clearly. They cannot accept the commercialization of faith, where everything seems to revolve around money and power. For them, true spirituality has no price. It is a deep and personal connection with the divine that transcends any financial transaction. When this is lost, churches become just another business, without soul and without purpose. The hope is that as people move away from institutions that do not meet their spiritual needs, they will find new ways to express their faith. The chosen ones, in particular, have an important role in this process. They are the ones who dare to question, who are not afraid to seek the truth, even if it means distancing themselves from what is considered normal. They are the pioneers in building new faith communities, based on love, acceptance, and freedom. Because in the end, the true church is not a building, but the people who gather with a common purpose, to seek the truth and live in harmony with the divine. These new faith communities, often led or inspired by the chosen ones, have the potential to transform the concept of spirituality for an entire generation. They reject the idea that worship is limited to four walls and specific times. For these individuals, every moment of life is an opportunity to connect with the divine, to manifest the love and compassion that Christ preached. There is no more space for exclusion or superficial judgments. Instead, the focus is on creating an environment where everyone feels welcome, where each person can express their faith in an authentic and free way. This search for a more authentic and inclusive spirituality is not a total rejection of the Church, but rather an attempt to return to its purest roots. The chosen ones understand that Christ's message has always been about unconditional love and acceptance. However, over the centuries, this message has been distorted by human interests, turning what should have been a community of support into a space of control and manipulation. The desire of the chosen ones is to see a rebirth of true faith, where the essence of Christ's teachings is lived and shared simply and profoundly, without the burdens of outdated dogmas and traditions. That's why we have an exclusive community for the chosen ones and a powerful ebook created to offer practical insights to recognize your true mission as a chosen one and overcome challenges of misunderstanding and isolation. By acquiring the ebook, you also gain immediate access to our exclusive Discord community, where you can connect with other chosen ones who share your experiences, your struggles, and who, above all, understand your journey. Check out the first pinned comment here in the video and gain access to unique and exclusive content. When spirituality becomes something exclusive, limited to certain groups or classes, it loses its true purpose. The chosen ones, with their clear vision and sharp discernment, feel this intensely. They see the urgent need to tear down these barriers, to open the doors for everyone, regardless of their backgrounds, beliefs, or past. True faith does not discriminate, it welcomes. And for that to happen, courage is needed. Courage to question, to change, to abandon old habits and make room for the new. This is the mission of the chosen ones, to bring light where there is darkness, to bring hope where there is despair. Religious leaders need to understand that times have changed. Society is more connected, more informed, more aware. People no longer accept absolute truths without questioning. And the chosen ones, as beacons of discernment, are at the forefront of this movement. They challenge the status quo, not out of rebellion, but because of a profound need to see the truth prevail. It is not about destroying faith, but about rebuilding it on more solid, truer foundations. It is a call to all those who seek something more, something that goes beyond appearances and delves into the true essence of what it means to be a follower of Christ. The true church is the one that welcomes everyone, that does not impose arbitrary rules, that does not judge, but embraces. For the chosen ones, this is the standard by which all faith communities should be measured. They know that no one is perfect, that everyone has their flaws and struggles. And that is exactly why the church should be a place of healing, not condemnation. A space where each person can feel safe to show their vulnerabilities, knowing that they will be met with love and respect. Because, after all, that is what Christ preached, unconditional love and forgiveness. And that is what the chosen ones want to see in churches. Frustration arises when these expectations are not met. When, instead of finding acceptance, the chosen ones encounter rigid rules and superficial judgments. This generates deep pain, a sense of spiritual betrayal. After all, how can a place that should represent love become a space of exclusion? The chosen ones feel this more intensely because they see beyond words, they feel the energy behind actions. And when this energy does not match what is preached, disappointment is inevitable. For them, authenticity is everything. And where there is no authenticity, there is no place for them. But this disappointment also brings an opportunity. An opportunity for change, for renewal. The chosen ones, in their spiritual journey, are called to lead by example. To show that it is possible to live an authentic faith, without being tied to appearances or the judgments of others. That it is possible to create communities where love is truly the foundation of everything. And that is what they believe. That even in the face of frustration and pain, there is hope. Hope that, over time, more people will awaken to this truth. That churches will become what they were always meant to be, a place to encounter the divine, where all are welcome. This journey of transformation begins with each one of us. The chosen ones, with their clear vision and unwavering courage, are the first to take this step. They reject hypocrisy and superficiality and seek something deeper, something truer. They do not accept being silenced or conform to a system that does not reflect the love of Christ. Instead, they rise and speak, even if their voices are few at first. Because they know that true faith does not remain silent in the face of injustice, does not bow to the pressure of conformity. It is a living, vibrant faith that challenges and transforms. And that is what they want to see in churches. The challenge for many is breaking with patterns that have been established for centuries. Traditions, rituals, all of these have enormous weight within churches. And any attempt at change is met with suspicion and resistance. But the chosen ones know that for true transformation to happen, it is necessary to have the courage to question these norms. Not to destroy what is sacred, but to reclaim what is essential. For them, spirituality should not be a prison but a liberation. And if churches are not willing to accompany this movement, they risk becoming irrelevant to a generation that seeks authenticity above all. It is important to remember that Christ, in his time, also challenged religious norms. He questioned traditions that distanced people from God, that placed heavy burdens on the shoulders of the faithful. He did not hesitate to confront those who used faith as a form of control and oppression. And the chosen ones feel that this same spirit of renewal is needed today. That it is time to return to the core of Christ's message, to set aside everything that does not reflect love, compassion, and justice. Because, in the end, true faith is a revolution of love. And this starts with each of us choosing to live this truth, regardless of what others think. This revolution of love is not something that happens instantly. It is a process, a journey that requires patience, courage, and, above all, faith. The chosen ones understand that the transformation of churches and spirituality as a whole begins within each individual. There is no point in expecting religious leaders to make all the changes. Each one must be a living example of what they want to see in the world. Each one must be a beacon of light in the midst of darkness, a reflection of Christ's love in every word and action. And, little by little, this light spreads, illuminating the darkest corners and bringing hope where there was only despair. The chosen ones carry a heavy burden. They see the flaws, the injustices, the hypocrisies that many prefer to ignore. They feel the pain of those who are excluded, marginalized, silenced. And this empathy, this sensitivity, often leaves them exhausted. But it is also this sensitivity that drives them to act, to fight for a world that is more just, more loving, more truthful. They know that the path is difficult, that changes are slow. But they also know that every small action counts, that every gesture of love, no matter how small, has the power to transform a life, a community, a church. And that is what they believe. Those who have distanced themselves from churches have not lost their faith. On the contrary, many have distanced themselves precisely because their faith is too strong to conform to mediocrity. They seek something greater, something that goes beyond superficial sermons and empty rituals. They want to feel God's presence in every detail of life, not just inside a building or during a service. And that is why so many chosen ones choose individual worship, a direct connection with the divine that does not depend on intermediaries. They know that God is everywhere, in every sincere heart, in every act of kindness and compassion. And that is what moves them, this certainty that true faith transcends any institution. But even those who distance themselves carry with them the hope that one day churches can become what they should be, a true refuge for everyone. A place where there is no judgment, where each person is welcomed and valued for who they are. A space of healing, transformation, and love. The chosen ones believe this is possible, that, with time and effort, the necessary changes can happen. They see the seeds of a new spiritual era being planted, where faith will be lived in a more authentic way, more connected to what truly matters. And it is this vision that inspires them to continue, even in the face of difficulties and challenges. It takes courage to keep this vision alive. The chosen ones face criticism, are misunderstood, accused of being rebels or heretics. But despite everything, they remain steadfast in their purpose. They know that true faith does not bow to external pressures, does not succumb to fear or conformity. It is a flame that burns within each one, a flame that, even when small, has the power to light up the darkness. And this flame is fueled by the hope that one day everyone can experience the true love of Christ, without the barriers imposed by human traditions or superficial judgments. For the chosen ones, the path to this new spiritual era begins with small daily actions. A smile, a gesture of kindness, a word of encouragement. They know that every act of love, no matter how simple, is a seed planted. And, over time, these seeds turn into trees, creating a forest of hope and transformation. They do not expect grand changes overnight, but they believe that, with perseverance, each one can do their part. This is how the true revolution begins, in the heart of each individual who decides to live love in a practical and concrete way. Those who choose to follow this path often feel lonely. After all, it is not easy to go against the current, to question what is widely accepted as truth. But the chosen ones know they are not alone. They feel the presence of the divine by their side, guiding and strengthening them. And, little by little, they begin to find others who share this vision, who also seek a more authentic and liberating faith. Together, they form a support network, a circle of light that grows and expands, challenging the darkness and bringing a new dawn to spirituality. Because, in the end, true strength lies in unity. This union is not based on dogmas or rigid rules but on a deep and sincere understanding that we are all children of the same Creator. That each person, regardless of their story or beliefs, has a measurable value. The chosen ones understand this and, therefore, strive to live according to this truth. They reject any form of discrimination, exclusion, or prejudice. They know that true faith is inclusive, that it embraces and values each human being as a divine masterpiece. And it is this vision that they want to see reflected in churches, communities, families, and in every heart. For this to happen, a deep process of healing is necessary. The wounds caused by religious hypocrisy, exclusion, and judgment are deep. Many carry scars from painful experiences within churches, where they were rejected, silenced, or humiliated. The chosen ones understand this pain because many of them have been through it. But they also know that healing is possible. That with love, patience, and compassion, it is possible to rebuild trust, restore faith, and rekindle hope. And it is this healing process that they want to see happening, both within churches and outside them, in every life that has been marked by these negative experiences. True healing begins with acknowledgement. Acknowledgement that mistakes have been made, that many people have been hurt in the name of a faith that should bring peace and joy. The chosen ones know that this recognition is difficult, that it requires humility and courage. But they also know that without it, there is no way forward. It is necessary to look at the past with honesty, to admit the mistakes, to ask for forgiveness. And more than that, it is necessary to change. Change attitudes, change behaviors, change the way we relate to others and to the divine. Because only then can true healing happen, bringing with it a spiritual renewal that transforms not only churches but society as a whole. The chosen ones, with their compassionate hearts and indomitable spirits, are those who lead this movement of healing and transformation. They are not afraid to speak the truth, even if that truth is uncomfortable. They are not intimidated by criticism or prejudice. Because they know they are on the right side of history, that they are fighting for a world where love is the foundation of everything. A world where no one is excluded, where each person is valued and respected. This is the vision that motivates them, that inspires them to continue, even when the path is difficult. And it is this vision that they want to see becoming a reality, one step at a time. The transformation that the chosen ones want to see begins in the way each of us chooses to live our faith. It is not just about attending a church or following certain rituals, but about embodying Christ's teachings in every aspect of our lives. For the chosen ones, this means treating everyone with dignity and respect, regardless of their beliefs or choices. They know that true spirituality is one that manifests in concrete acts of love and compassion. And that is what they seek to cultivate in themselves and inspire in others, a life of integrity, where love is the supreme law. Many who have distanced themselves from churches still carry a deep desire to connect with the divine. They seek this connection in different places, in different forms of spirituality, but always with an open heart for the truth. The chosen ones understand this search because they also walk this path. They know that faith cannot be forced, that each one must find their own way to the divine. And they respect that, knowing that God reveals himself in different ways to each person. The important thing is that this search is genuine, that it comes from a sincere heart and a desire to find the truth. The chosen one's criticism of churches is not an attack on faith, but an appeal for authenticity. They want to see a more alive, truer spirituality, where actions speak louder than words. They believe that Christ's love should be reflected in every gesture, every decision, every relationship. And when that does not happen, they feel a deep sadness because they know that Christ's message is too powerful to be reduced to dogmas and rules. For them, true faith is a transforming force that liberates, that heals, that inspires. And they want to see this force acting fully in churches and in each person's life. The chosen ones do not settle for mediocrity and know that God has grand plans for each of us. They reject anything that tries to limit or suppress the divine potential within every human being. For them, the true church is the one that encourages, empowers, and challenges each person to become their best version. There is no room for judgments or prejudice, only for love, growth, and transformation. They want to see a spirituality that goes beyond imposed limits, one that liberates rather than imprisons, that welcomes rather than excludes. The hope of the chosen ones is to awaken more people to a new vision of spirituality, where those who feel disillusioned and rejected can find a new path and an authentic spiritual home. They believe that true faith does not depend on institutions but on a sincere heart and an open mind. They want everyone to know that there is a place for them in the divine family, regardless of their flaws, because God's love is greater than any mistake. They know it won't be easy, but they believe that each act of love has the power to transform lives. The vision of the chosen ones is clear: to create a world where spirituality is authentic and every person is respected and valued. They want churches to be places of welcome, not exclusion, and know that this transformation requires courage and perseverance. But they believe that together, we can build communities where love and compassion are the foundation of everything. For them, the true church is made of people, not walls, and each of us has an important role in this transformation. Because, in the end, love is the most powerful force, and it is with this love that they continue to transform the world around them. Don't forget to check the first pinned comment if you want to learn more about your journey as a chosen one. Our ebook provides profound guidance to illuminate your path and strengthen your understanding of your gifts. Additionally, you will be part of our exclusive Discord community, where you can find support and share your experiences with other chosen ones like you. Don't miss this opportunity to gain access to exclusive content and connect with special people. If this content resonated with you, don't forget to strengthen this space we are creating together. Leave your like on the button below and subscribe to the channel to ensure you don't miss any video that can inspire, guide, and empower your journey. Together, we are building a movement of chosen ones who do not conform to the superficial but seek the essence of true spirituality. Moreover, if you feel that this content has made a difference in your life and want to support this mission even more, consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. Your support helps us create more quality videos to offer the best content to you. Just check the first pinned comment to contribute. And before closing, I want to invite you to dive even deeper into the secrets of the chosen ones. Click on the video appearing on the screen or explore the complete playlist, where I reveal powerful insights to strengthen your faith and increase your spiritual connection. I am sure you will find answers that can transform your vision and open new horizons on your journey. Always remember, you are a chosen one. Your light and purpose are unique. May you continue to illuminate the world with your truth. Stay in peace, remain steadfast in faith, and see you in the next video.